The mine exploded beneath his tank. Shrapnel tore through his leg down to the bone. The medic reached for the morphine needle. Staff Sergeant Ruben Rivers pushed it away. "Captain, this is going to be bad," he said. "You're going to need me." 3 days later, he proved exactly how right he was. October 30th, 1918, Tecumseh, Oklahoma. Ruben Rivers was born into poverty. His parents, Willie and Lillian, raised 12 children. Ruben was half African American, half Cherokee. The family worked a small farm in Huttulka, Oklahoma. No electricity, no running water. Just endless fields and back-breaking work. Ruben graduated high school, which was rare for a black kid in Oklahoma in the 1930s. After graduation, he got a job working on the railroad. Hard labor, low pay, but honest work. Then came December 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor. On January 16th, 1942, Ruben Rivers enlisted in the United States Army. He was 23 years old. Because of the color of his skin, Rivers was assigned to an all-black unit. Company A, 761st Tank Battalion. The Black Panthers. In 1942, the United States military was completely segregated. Black soldiers couldn't serve alongside white soldiers. Most were relegated to menial tasks. Cooks, laborers, supply crews. But the 761st Tank Battalion was different. They would be trained for combat. The military brass didn't believe black soldiers had the intelligence to operate tanks. The 761st was an experiment, and they knew it. The battalion trained at Camp Claiborne, Louisiana, deep in Jim Crow country. The men of the 761st faced racism every single day, from local civilians, from white soldiers, even from their own officers. While most tank battalions trained for a few months, the 761st trained for 2 years. They had to be twice as good to get half the respect. In October 1943, the battalion moved to Camp Hood, Texas. There, they received brand new M4 Sherman medium tanks, 30 tons of steel, a 75mm main gun. These machines could kill. And the men of the 761st learned to use them like no one else. By 1944, the 761st had earned a reputation as one of the best tank units in the entire Army. Ruben Rivers had risen to the rank of staff sergeant. He commanded his own tank platoon. In September 1944, the 761st shipped out to England. General George S. Patton personally requested them for his Third Army. On October 10th, 1944, the 761st Tank Battalion landed at Omaha Beach in Normandy. 4 months after D-Day, the beach was calm. But the war ahead was anything but. Before they rolled out, General Patton addressed the battalion. "I would never have asked for you if you weren't good," he said. "I have nothing but the best in my army. Everyone has their eyes on you. And they're expecting great things. The men of the 761st knew what that meant. They had doubters back home, skeptics in the ranks. This was their chance to prove them all wrong. The 761st was attached to the 26th Infantry Division. Their mission was to push toward the German border as part of Patton's drive to the Siegfried Line. They didn't have to wait long to see action. November 8, 1944, Vixer-Celle, France. Company A of the 761st advanced alongside the 104th Infantry Regiment toward German positions. Ruben Rivers was in the lead tank. As they approached the town on a narrow road, the column suddenly stopped. A German roadblock. A felled tree. Anti-tank mines scattered across the road. The American infantry was pinned down in the ditches. German mortars and rifle fire poured down on them. Casualties were mounting by the second. Rivers didn't hesitate. He climbed out of his tank. In the middle of enemy fire. Bullets snapped through the air around him. Mortar shells exploded nearby. Rivers ran to the roadblock, attached a cable to the tree, and dragged it off the road with his tank. The column surged forward. Vixer-Celle was captured. For this action, Ruben Rivers was awarded the Silver Star, the first man in the 761st to receive it. But the Black Panthers were just getting started. Over the next week, the 761st fought non-stop. They advanced 15 miles through freezing rain and mud. German resistance was fierce. But the Black Panthers kept pushing. November 16, 1944, Gerbling, France. This was the big one. The 4th Armored Division had tried to take Gerbling days earlier. They'd been beaten back with heavy losses. Wrecked American tanks littered the fields. Now it was the 761st's turn. Ruben Rivers led the assault. His platoon of Sherman tanks rolled toward the town, alongside the 26th Infantry Division. As they crested a rise, German artillery opened fire. Shells screamed down. One American tank exploded. But Rivers kept moving. His Sherman entered the town. And then it hit a mine. The explosion was massive. The tank nearly flipped over. Rivers was thrown to the ground behind the tank. When the medics reached him, he was in agony. His leg was torn open from knee to thigh, cut all the way to the bone. Blood poured onto the frozen ground. Captain David Williams, Rivers' company commander, rushed over. He pulled out a morphine syringe. "Ruben, you're going back," Williams said. "You've got $1 million wound." Rivers looked up at his captain, and he refused. "Captain, you know better than that," Rivers said through gritted teeth. "This is gonna be bad. You're gonna need me. A couple days won't make any difference." Williams tried to argue. Rivers pushed the morphine away. He let the medics clean and bandage the wound. Then he climbed into another tank. The German artillery had begun zeroing in on their position. Company A needed to move. Now, Rivers led them into cover. That night, combat engineers built a temporary bridge into Gebling, November 17, 1944. At dawn, the 761st attacked again. Ruben Rivers was in the lead, still refusing morphine, still refusing evacuation. The fighting was brutal. House to house, room to room. Rivers' Sherman engaged German tanks in anti-tank positions throughout the day. That night, German infiltrators wearing captured American uniforms tried to retake the town. Rivers stayed on guard all night. His leg was infected. The pain was unbearable. But he wouldn't leave. November 18, 1944. Captain Williams found Rivers still at his post. The infection had spread. Rivers' condition was deteriorating rapidly. Williams ordered him to evacuate. "Captain, you know better than that," Rivers said again. "This is going to be tough. I'm staying." November 19, 1944. The 761st advanced toward Borgeltroff. Their next objective. As Company A's tanks rolled forward at dawn, German anti-tank fire erupted. Hidden 88mm guns. Tank killers. Shells screamed through the morning air. American tanks exploded. Captain Williams ordered the company to withdraw, to pull back to cover before they were all destroyed. But Ruben Rivers radioed back. "I see him," he said. "We'll fight him." Rivers had spotted the German anti-tank positions. If the company withdrew now, those guns would massacre them. Someone had to suppress them. Someone had to cover the withdrawal. Rivers' tank, joined by one other Sherman, opened fire on the German positions. The rest of Company A withdrew to safety. Rivers kept firing, drawing the enemy's attention, buying his brother's time. Then the German guns turned on him. 2 88mm shells hit Rivers' tank. Direct hits, turret penetration. The Sherman exploded. Ruben Rivers was killed instantly. The rest of his crew was wounded but survived. Because of Rivers' sacrifice, Company A made it to safety. 0 additional casualties. Staff Sergeant Ruben Rivers was 26 years old. He'd fought for 3 days with a wound. That would have sent most men home. He'd refused morphine, refused evacuation, and he'd given his life to save his men. On November 20th, 1944, Captain David Williams submitted a recommendation for Ruben Rivers to receive the Medal of Honor, the highest award for valor in the United States military. Williams detailed everything. The mine explosion, the refusal to evacuate, the 3 days of fighting with a catastrophic wound, the final stand covering the withdrawal. It was a clear case for the Medal of Honor. But the recommendation was denied. Downgraded. In 1945, Ruben Rivers was posthumously awarded the Silver Star, a high honor, but not what he deserved. The reason was simple: racism. During World War II, not a single African-American soldier received the Medal of Honor. Not one. It wasn't because they didn't earn it. It was because the military wouldn't give it to them. The 761st Tank Battalion went on to fight for 183 consecutive days. They liberated 30 towns, fought through 6 countries. They were one of the most effective armored units in the entire war. But for decades, their story was forgotten. In 1993, Congress ordered a comprehensive review of World War II Medal of Honor nominations, specifically looking for cases where racial discrimination had prevented deserving soldiers from receiving the award. Shaw University conducted the research. They identified 10 cases. 7 were approved for the Medal of Honor. Ruben Rivers was one of them. On January 13th, 1997, 53 years after his death, President Bill Clinton presented the Medal of Honor to the families of 7 African-American World War II heroes. Only one of the recipients was still alive to receive his medal. The rest, including Ruben Rivers, were honored posthumously. Rivers' family accepted the medal on his behalf. Finally, Ruben Rivers received the recognition he'd earned. In a frozen field in France more than half a century before, today, Ruben Rivers rests in the Lorraine American Cemetery in France, among the 10,489 American soldiers buried there. At Fort Hood, Texas, where the 761st trained, a monument stands in their honor. Black granite plaques surround a life-size marble sculpture. of a Black Panther kneeling in tribute. This is what heroism looks like. Not the kind that seeks glory, but the kind that does what needs to be done. Ruben Rivers could have taken that morphine. He could have accepted evacuation. No one would have blamed him. But he knew his men needed him. So he stayed, and he fought. For 3 days with a wound that should have killed him. And when the moment came, he gave everything to bring them home. The 761st Tank Battalion proved what everyone should have known: that courage has no color. That heroism isn't about where you're from or what you look like. It's about what you do when everything is on the line. Ruben Rivers and the Black Panthers fought for a country that didn't always fight for them. They faced racism at home and fascism abroad. And they never quit. If you want to hear more stories of forgotten American heroes, hit subscribe. These men deserve to be remembered.